They told us some histories were gone forever. Dust, ruins, clay. But the truth is far stranger. Some stories weren't lost, we simply didn't have the eyes to see them. You're about to be blown away with an incredible story. It's about a 3,000-year-old song from Babylon, you know, the super famous ancient city in Mesopotamia. It's not like they found a complete song though. For centuries, this thing was just a mess. Little bits of clay, totally broken, scattered across museums in Europe and the Middle East, and a lot of the pieces were so messed up, you couldn't even tell what they were. No human scholar could ever put them back together. It sounds like a puzzle that's been sitting on a shelf for 3,000 years, with half the pieces missing and the rest all mixed up. But this year, some smart people from LMU Munich and the University of Baghdad did something amazing. They used artificial intelligence, like the AI on your phone, but way more focused on ancient dirt and writing, to figure it out. They built this massive digital library called the Electronic Babylonian Library Platform. They put every tiny fragment of the ancient cuneiform writing they could find into it. This is where it gets really interesting. They had to teach the AI how to think like an archaeologist, but better. Think of it like this. You know how you can recognize a friend's handwriting? The AI was trained on different scribes' handwriting styles over hundreds of years, or how you can tell two puzzle pieces fit together. The AI learned to match the broken edges of the clay tablets, even pieces that were literally on opposite sides of the world, stored in different museums. It also looked at the clay itself, the color, the texture, and how it broke. The AI detected patterns that no human eye or brain could have possibly connected across 30 separate, damaged pieces. It was like solving a digital jigsaw puzzle of history in just a few weeks. When the AI finally grouped the 30 pieces, the scholars could read the full song. It's about 250 lines long, and it's a big praise song for the city of Babylon from around 1000 BCE. It was probably like their national anthem or a favorite school song, because they found so many different copies. The takeaway here, the part that really relates to our daily lives, isn't just the old song, it's the power of the AI. This technology isn't just for digging up ancient poems, it's the same kind of thinking that goes into things we use every day, like when your email spam filter works, it's noticing tiny patterns in language that signal junk. Or likewise, when a doctor uses AI to look at an X-ray, the AI is spotting patterns that might signal a disease way before a human eye would. In history, it means scholars aren't limited anymore. AI is their new tool. It doesn't replace them, it just gives them a superpower to read things that are too damaged, too scattered, or too complicated for a person to handle alone. We might be able to bring back lost plays, forgotten math books, and missing chapters of history that we thought were gone forever, just because a computer can see the connection between two pieces of old dirt. It makes you wonder what else is hiding in plain sight in our museums, just waiting for the right AI to put the pieces together. It's like a lost voice from 3,000 years ago is finally speaking again. Alright, so they used this amazing AI and ended up with a 250-line song. But the really mind-blowing thing isn't just that they found the song, it's what the song actually tells us about life 3,000 years ago. Before this, when we looked at Babylonian history, it was mostly like reading a list of rules or a story about a war or a king. It was all very official. This hymn is different. It's like finding a letter from an average citizen. It praises Babylon, sure, but it's not just about the big buildings. It talks about the Euphrates River bringing life, making the fields green, and how the crops and herbs are blossoming. It's so unusual because most surviving ancient texts ignore the nature stuff. They're usually too busy writing down taxes or telling myths. This poem shows us they actually looked around, noticed the beauty, and cared about the environment, just like we appreciate a nice park or a healthy river today. And to make it even more fascinating, it shows us the social life of the city, not just the official version. First, women. The hymn talks about priestesses doing ceremonial things in the temples. This confirms that women weren't just staying home. They had structured, respected jobs in the city's religious and cultural heart. It quietly restores their role in that ancient world, making it less of a male-only narrative. Second, kids and school. One of the biggest reasons this hymn survived in so many pieces is because Babylonian children copied it in school. It was like a textbook. They used chanting and reciting this sacred poem to learn how to write cuneiform and how to be a good Babylonian. Imagine if your elementary school used a song about your city's values to teach you spelling and history at the same time. It was their way of passing down culture and literacy all at once. Third, foreigners. The hymn suggests that Babylon was incredibly cosmopolitan and welcoming. It talks about non-Babylonians being present in public religious spaces. They weren't just shut out. It was a city that saw hospitality and being kind to outsiders as part of their moral code. That's a powerful lesson from 3,000 years ago that we're still debating today. All those details, the generous spirit, the emphasis on justice, the visible role of women, the way children learned, they give us the emotional texture of the society. So, while the technical side of the AI matching broken edges across continents is cool, the real impact is the human connection. It's not a scientific fact, it's a human story we almost lost, about what they cared about, what they taught their kids, and how they saw the world. We're not just restoring a text, we're hearing a voice that time had muted. Now, if this AI can resurrect a half-erased song from a city that turned to dust 2,000 years ago, that's not just a cool history finding, it's a blueprint for doing this everywhere, especially in Africa. Think about it. The AI learned to read the unreadable, match fragments across oceans, and figure out the deep-down patterns in a language. That's a toolkit, not a one-off trick. We're already seeing this happen globally. It's not just Babylon. There's an AI model called Ithaca that helps restore broken Greek inscriptions, and it makes historians way more accurate, like jumping from being right a quarter of the time to being right almost 3/4 of the time. And so we say the AI acts like a co-researcher. It spots patterns that no single person could manually check across thousands of archives. It's completely changing archaeology. For example, on the ground, archaeologists aren't just walking around hoping to trip over something anymore. The same kind of AI that powers your mapping app can now scan satellite images, radar, or drone footage to spot subtle outlines of old walls, roads, or burial mounds that have been missed for centuries. It's like having an X-ray view of the entire Earth's surface before you even dig. Now, let's bring this home to Africa. The Babylon story is about reassembling history. Africa's story is often about rescue and protection first, and then reassembly. The most famous example is the Timbuktu manuscripts in Mali. You've got around 285,000 priceless documents on everything from astronomy and law to medicine and poetry that had to be smuggled out of Timbuktu to keep them safe from conflict. Right now, a lot of the work is just digitizing them, which is great for saving them from climate or conflict. But what if we add the Babylon AI toolkit? Suddenly, we can automatically transcribe the handwritten Arabic and Ajami, which are African languages written in the Arabic script. We can sort them into categories like law, medicine, or trade, and instantly find small handwritten notes in the margins about everyday life in pre-colonial West Africa, just the kind of detail the Babylon hymn gave us. This is how we get the social story back. This whole AI for heritage idea shouldn't be seen as a soft history project. It's a hard tech use case that demands serious science, technology, and engineering investment, R&D and STI basically. For African countries, this is a massive opportunity to build up their own AI skills and labs around something they uniquely own, their own archives, their languages, and their sites. We need to go beyond just scanning books. We need to fuse the digitization layer with an AI and data science layer right here. Imagine African Center for AI and Heritage Labs being set up in universities. They wouldn't just be saving old books, they would be training machine learning engineers to build models that can read handwriting in Ge'ez, Ethiopia Swahili, or the Ensabidi script. Train data annotators to create the complex datasets needed for these models to learn, and also digital humanists who bridge the gap between ancient history and cutting-edge tech. The tools built to recognize handwritten Bambara or Ge'ez can then be adapted and exported globally for other low-resource scripts. This turns Africa from a consumer of technology into a producer and exporter of specialized AI tools. This kind of STI investment makes total sense because It first off leverages Africa's comparative advantage. We have the unique data, the sites, and the oral histories. It also builds frontier skills in engineering and data science, and it feeds multiple value chains. Think about the educational content, the virtual tourism, and the creative industries, movies, games, that could be built on these newly recovered stories. But here's the crucial part, and the final lesson from Babylon. We can't let this be a simple data handoff. The Babylon hymn was reconstructed largely using European infrastructure and know-how. For Africa, the strategy must be to build Africa-controlled pipelines. We need to invest in local data centers, set up strong legal rules for heritage data governance, and make sure that when we partner with global labs, we retain control over the models and the right to tell our own stories first. The Babylon hymn proves that AI can resurrect voices from empires that fell thousands of years ago. Africa has archives just as rich, and now we have the technology to protect, analyze, and finally tell those stories on our own terms. We always say history fades, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just waits in broken clay, in fading ink, in forgotten scripts and quiet archives for someone brave enough, curious enough, or futuristic enough to listen differently. What piece of forgotten history do you think deserves to speak next?